Y'all go ahead and smash that like button for these dope clips for today. Y'all go ahead and sit back, relax, and let's get right into it.
Now that I was on the trail, I was going to have to be really careful, as this is when things would get much more difficult and more dangerous. For starters, I didn't even know if I was on the right trail that would lead me to the summit of the mountain. And if I got lost, I had no map to help me back to the village. I was now totally on my own, deep in the Sri Lankan jungle, and the threat of wildlife was now something I would need to take seriously. And as I continued along the jungle trail, my worst fears became a reality, as I met face to face with a fearsome beast. This is Doug, the jungle dog, and although he wasn't happy to see me, I was very happy to see him, because he is indeed a cutie pie. Hello. Hello. We're leaving the trees a bit. We can see just the massive rock that is the mountain we've got to get up. I don't know if the camera does it justice. This thing is just towering over me right now. I think this trail is going to get really steep really quick, but I am just happy I'm on a trail and that it seems to be going the right direction. I've just noticed something really strange. Look, that's a good trail. It's all rocks and dirt. It's been all rocks and dirt. But here is a concrete trail. That is so weird. Look at this. My goodness. Wow. What on earth? Now, you might be thinking I'm getting overly excited about concrete, although that may be true. Think about logistically how you would make this. And why has it only begun here and not further down the mountain? If this was made for the village, it would have led to the village, but it's not. Which means I think this is related to the colonial past or military past of this mountain. Obviously something started here and they wanted to make it easier to get to the mountain. What's even crazier is that this is a great trail and yet there's no record of it online. All of these questions. Let's go further up and see if we can figure out the answers.
What?
Mom, like my earrings?
I do.
And why do you have double chin, this and this? Mom, like my...
Why do kids do this to us? I think they just be pointing out like what they see. That's just what it is. You gotta understand kids is born and they just, what is that? Like they're just concerned.
I'll back into this. $31-kilometer 9.
Because I could see in Markel's eyes that I could make him a victim to my good, tender pussy. Lo and behold, 2 home training sessions later, I seduced his ass and put this moist pink monkey of mine's on him. Child, I had to let that young man know Miss Bonita still had that snapback. Because I could see in Markel's eyes that I could make him a...
What audio book is that? Oh my God. Come on, man.
How you manage to get your hands this strong? You using your hands as a hammer? You know what? I done seen them slap competitions, and I see how them big men be buckling up, bro. Bro really got hammer hands. Come on, man.
I don't know how you doing that. That's crazy.
If you find yourself traveling in Costa Rica, it's entirely possible that you could get stopped by a banana train. Apparently, bananas grow in some not so easy to reach places like wetlands or heavy forested areas, places where a traditional road or a railroad would be expensive and impractical. Enter the banana train, which is basically just a wire pulley system used to transport the bananas from the plantation to the packing stations. The more you know.
Hey, so I think I don't want to celebrate.
That is, right? Yeah, they took that Huh? You good? What's that? You good? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, they hooked me up. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all flagging me down like that.
That's dope, man. That's what it's about, man. I gotta stop the race wars and all that. Like, we all matter, man. Right? We all experiencing this, what do you call this? Consciousness. This third dimensional realm, you know.
What the hell I think? What the hell
What is that? It's nasty. You might just throw that away, and that's Chipotle.
I don't know how to get in contact with the people at Uncrustables, but this is crust. I don't know how to get in contact.
Yeah, they definitely got some crust on there. Do y'all like Uncrustables? I ain't gonna lie, Uncrustables do be there.
What am I gonna eat?
Was that AI?
No.
Or was it real?
Oh, well, you tell us.
So that's where Klaus got his idea.
What am I gonna eat?
No, that's nasty.
Alright guys, this right here is what I love to find. You have three mining carts dating back to the 1880s.
That's
just
dope.
sitting in place, frozen in time on these tracks. That's so cool to see.
She got underwear with my name on them.
Oh, you hard.
No way. This is crazy. Absolutely, take a look. Cobwebs just going through the house. This is absolutely fabulous. Looks like a small chalet or something, but still, it is designed so marvelous. Man. They had a strong religious belief. Take a look what they made here on the wall. Oh, Roman Catholic. Oh, these cobwebs. It's really insane. No way!
Dang, look at that thing. Oh man, look at that.
First time seeing a black First time seeing a black Chinese man. Are Asians Africans?
今儿菜咸蛋呢，味儿可以吧？挺好，可以，挺好吧？哎呀，这我大爷啊，让你特别好钓鱼。
今儿真大风钓鱼了吗？
就因为钓鱼玩这么火的，
火了。
Dude. Okay, I see what's going on. This bus driver clearly don't want nobody to get on this stop. Or he's setting somebody up when they get off.
Right.
I thought this was an ordinary cave, but as I explored inside, I came across something quite terrifying. I found what looked like a man-made entrance, and getting closer, I saw this big metal door lying on the ground in front of a doorway. I headed inside and found myself in this long, dark tunnel. Clearly, whatever this once was, people wanted to keep it hidden. These tunnels are just huge. It goes on forever. But as I headed deeper in, I then started to come across lots of big empty rooms. But things were only about to get crazier. As I came across this tunnel leading deeper underground, I headed down it and found even more rooms, but my progress was soon blocked by this massive door. But I was about to find something even crazier as I continued exploring and soon found these stairs that led up into this small room that actually had a massive artillery cannon inside of it. This place must have once been some sort of secret military site, but I wonder what they were trying to hide here and why it was then abandoned. I thought this was...
Y'all, I have a song.
Me and my friend were told about the most dangerous city in America to explore. Welcome to Gary, Indiana. Once named the Magic City, now it's almost completely abandoned. Over 13,000 abandoned buildings were left to rot. Banks, churches, schools, and so much more. In 1993, Gary was named murder capital of the United States. It had 3 times more murders than Chicago per capita. Now it's just an obsolete wasteland. Some of the most iconic spots in Gary, Indiana are now just a playground for graffiti artists. It has even been rumored that these buildings are used as dumping sites for dead bodies. Me and my friend.
I'm with him for like 2 days. My boyfriend, my actual boyfriend.
This is what they got y'all on now. Listen, this is only in America. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. High fructose corn syrup is the main active ingredient. Corn syrup, second most ingredients. They got, of course, they got the red 40 in there. You can't go wrong without the red 40. This needs to be banned already. You know, this is definitely illegal in other countries. This is the most American shit I have ever seen in my life. This is what they got.
Fruity Pebbles. Syrup. Y'all putting that on your pancakes?
Sandwich costs $38.
And it'll stay right there. I'm not paying no $38 for no motherfucking sandwich. That's crazy. Yeah, I'll find something else. Thank you.
A man will lose interest when he sees that he is trying way harder than you. It literally does not matter how pretty you are, how happy you are, how successful and confident you are. You will lose him simply because you're not showing him any effort.
Why?
This is one I simply don't know how to feel about. On one hand, it's a very large,
Right. Why are you cutting a piece
thick
like that?
slice of pizza. On the other hand, it's like a school cafeteria piece of pizza meets Honey, I Blew Up the Kids. Some sort of science experiment. I don't know how to judge this one. Please help me.
It's crazy how this tree is moving like that, right?
All right, guys, the mission today, going down there to dig out this air shaft to access this abandoned mine right here. All right, guys, the mission today, going down there to dig out this air shaft.
Bob said, man, there is just air blowing out of this thing.
First adventure of 2024.
All right, man.
See where this baby goes.
Bob said, man, there is just air.
Oh my God. Look at that. There it is right there. Look at all that. Got water squirting against the wall. That's forceful. Y'all see that? But why? I don't know why that's happening. That is hard. Oh my God.
Okay. Today, my buddy Casey and I found this awesome abandoned mine. Look at this opening, guys. It collapsed a long time ago. If you look right here, though, you can see that the support beam that held the ceiling up fell, and that's a little bit sketchy. But we decided to go just a little bit further to see what was in here. And man, this mine is deep. I wonder what's at the very bottom. Today, my buddy Casey and I...
The hell? Dude, I thought that was the only the end of the house.
And this is all set up.
Oh, dude, this is crazy. This is the hidden room. Oh, that came out super nice. And dude, it feels like it's like back in the 80s. It's still the same and trapped. Like we're just trapped in the 80s right now. This I did not expect, but I would never have noticed. Never have even noticed this. Dude, look at, again with the Japanese art, the whole house was like a Japanese kind of theme, or Chinese, whatever, but it's really cool. What's in here? It's like locked. It's boarded up too. No, that could be the secret room we'll never go into. The hell?
Oh my gosh, you guys, I did it. After 10 years of hunting, I have finally found one. A freaking symphysial cow shark tooth, one of the rarest, if not the rarest shark tooth in North America. I don't even know what to say. I'm actually in shock right now. Look at this thing. I have found 60 cow shark teeth in this creek, but this is my first ever symphysial tooth. And this thing is just beautiful. It is immaculate. I've been dreaming of finding one of these for years, and I can't believe just some random day, just half paying attention, I find one. I mean,
I've never seen anything like this. It wants to mate with my foot.
What is that? That is crazy looking. Look how well camouflaged it is. It's literally built in. A huge hole in the bottom. We got a lizard on it. Shout out Mr. Liz. Unsure as to what this structure could be, I started searching around the forest for clues. And that's when I stumbled across something pretty crazy. It was an entrance leading underground. And at the bottom was a huge metal door that looked like it had been blown open. Heading down, I began walking through a long tunnel until it led me to another chamber filled with more big metal doors. I had no idea what this place could be. That is until I reached the other side when everything finally made sense. As I found this hole in the ceiling that led up to the structure I had found earlier. And that means, I'm guessing this would have been like where a turret or some gun placements were and they could shoot out of. What is that?
Peanut butter jelly the long way.
That better not be weed. That better not be no weed on there. Is that weed? Did they put weed on the peanut butter jelly sandwich?
Peanut butter jelly the long way.
Eat that shit if you want to, and your soul gonna be a long way from your body. You gonna be high the long way.
Peanut butter.
He gonna be high the long way. They done put weed on the peanut butter jelly sandwich. How many of y'all tried something like that? That's wow. They do say you do anything when you eat the most craziest when you are. That's crazy.
The old battery leaking everywhere. We need to get that out of here. It's not good. Beer bottle stuck in the... Or use a flashlight, regardless. Lots of rope. Or people have brought floats in here and just trashed the place.
Oh boy.
That's a sound effect.
Garlic is said to repel red mercury, while gold attracts it. Watch this.
That's interesting.
If red mercury is real, then why does it respond to elements in ways we don't understand? Because garlic is...
I mean, throwing a whole pizza pie on top of a sub bun is next level fat guy. If I don't, oh, that's not pizza. That's just a bunch of cheese and stuff put together. That's... God, I get excited for the hamburger. Oh, I don't know what that is, but it's going on the burger, so I want it. Why is my thing flashing so much? I don't get it. Oh, I mean, throwing a whole pizza.
There's just too much going on. Like, why you need all that on that? Come on, man. Keep it simple, man.
This lady, her heart was too pure for her own good. This happened in 1996 in Arkansas to this 17-year-old kid named Travis Lewis. At that time, bruh, he ended up getting arrested and charged for the murder of this lady named Sally McKay. People didn't really know the guy's motive of what happened and why did this kid even this lady. After that happens, they charge him. He goes to jail. Bro was probably in jail for like the next like 23 years of his life. He was in jail for like a cool minute. But as he's spending his whole time there, apparently the lady Sally had a daughter named Martha McKay who would go over there because she wanted to just know why. She would go over there and she would visit this dude every so often. So in 2018, the dude ends up actually getting out of jail and he ends up going on parole, looking for this girl Martha who was coming to visit him. And you know, Martha is the daughter of the girl that so he goes to her and he finds her. He asks her if she could help him get his life together. Martha ends up telling him okay. She offers to help him. She says yes. She basically gives him a job and she even lets him live at her place.
No way.
Slowly this lady Martha starts realizing like he was stealing a lot of shit. She noticed it. So one day she just decided to fire this dude. A couple days go by after she fires him. This dude, he randomly one night sneaks in and he stabs this lady Martha to death. So he killed her and her mother. It's somebody like the neighbors or somebody ended up calling the police. Police end up going over there. He ends up going towards like this area. I don't know if it's like a foresty area, but long story short, he ends up trying to go through a river and he drowns in.
Really?
Yes, as he was trying to escape.
Wow.
Freaking crazy, yeah. So pretty much nobody got justice in this, besides the fact that the drowned and probably got eaten by alligators.
Yeah.
This lady, her heart was too...
That's tough. Why is he doing this, man?
Yo, what's up? This is 1075, and we got some new music from Detroit's own Young Felony. Yeah, it's Young Felony in this bitch. Hey, if you work in a job, you a bitch. You ain't never try to rob, you a bitch. You ain't never risk your life, you a bitch. When broke trying to buy some ice, you a bitch. Lame ass nigga going to work every day. Fuck that, nigga, come and risk your life for 20K. If your shoes ain't a band, nigga, take them bitches off. Gotta be a broke nigga trying to see what something broke ass nigga. You gotta. Yo, what's up? This is 107.
He said, come and risk your life for 20K. Oh, nah.
Have you ever heard of acai? Acai, these are very, very dark pigment, purple, full of melanin or anthocyanins. This is very, very good for the brain. It cleanses the brain. It brings oxygen to the brain. It brings more blood flow to the brain. And it has a way of getting rid of metabolic waste. So a high berry diet. Now herbs for the brain is going to be berry herbs. Like if you look at our brain, nerve, and adrenal herbs on my site, it's nothing but a dried, it's everything I just told you is just in this dried form, and it's put into a powder form, and we put it in capsules, or we add sugar cane alcohol to it and extract all of the phytonutrients from it, and then people take it that way. But it's still, or those herbs are nothing but food. It's nothing but food. So you can either get the second hand, which is getting it in its strongest state because we basically isolating the chemistry, or you can get in this natural, holistic form the way God intended it, and you can eat it straight from the tree. Have you ever heard of acai?
Did you know that the acai berries have a lot of health benefits to it? Look at healthy heart, healthy skin, fight against cancer, weight loss, aging. It improves mental health and it boosts your energy, improves sleep, and it also is grown in the palm trees of the Amazon. And the taste of it is a mix between a wild berry and chocolate blend. That tastes good too, you know what I'm saying? But go and get you some acai berry and do your Google Facts, do your Google search. This is a brain, super brain foods. Let's get it.
Please tell me you've heard of acai berries. They are super high in nutritional value and they protect the cells from damage. Reason why is because they're super high in magnesium, potassium, iron, zinc, and copper. Also, they're super high in vitamin A, which helps the skin, which is the largest organ of the body. Go do yourself a favor and get you an acai bowl today. And thank me later. Want more content like this? Drop 2 fire emojis in the Please tell.
That is interesting. The rope going down is already broken.
What's that?
The rope that goes all the way down, it already broke.
Man, what do you guys think of this? Big old giant oak log that is now a nice fire pit. Over here cooking some nice porterhouse steaks. Woo! Too hot, baby. Woo! Oh, that was done. Man, what do you...
So I noticed something and I thought it was very unique, and I thought I'd bring it to y'all attention. This is in Russia. No, I'm not taking this building right now. I'm not focused on that. I'm actually focused on that. Right there. You see that? You see that ground? Look at that. Because in 2023, they ripped the asphalt up and it revealed this strategic, innovative, intricate metal design that was just all through the city. Take a look at that. What? You can just tell. I mean, you can see the cathedral back there. You know that's been there for hundreds of years. And then you got these in the ground, and it's just like, these were there for before hundreds of years, but who forged these? Look at how many they are. Look at that. It goes all the way up the street. Now, when I looked at this, you know what I said to myself? I said, there's no reason to put these here unless you are using these as a road for levitation. You gotta understand, they put asphalt over this and used it as a road. It was all, you can see, it was already a road before this. But as you can tell, this ain't the kind of road that you roll over with wheels. And we know cars and wheels weren't made yet. But somebody designed this structure, and I'm convinced these were made for levitation. And they had vehicles that levitated down these roads over these metal discs. I mean, let's just consciously think about it for a second. You're an engineer, you're a metaphysical person. Come on, let's think here. Why, who, how would you even look at them all? Perfectly fitted. Look at how they just, look at that. All through the city. These have to be used for levitation. Because ain't no way. Ain't no way, and there's no reason to have a bunch of metal discs inside the ground that you're not rolling over with any wheels. And also, you're not using this with horses and buggies either. Why? As y'all now know, these would be smothered with horse shit. But as you can see, it was there before, and then they dug it up. And if you look at what's going on here, this isn't like somebody just did this on one block. I'm sure this goes through the entire city. Just like rail cars went through the entire city, these metal discs go through the entire city. And they raise so many questions. This has my mind just going. Trying to understand.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Look at that. Look at the size of that. Look at the thickness of that. Right? Think about just going into the ground some 200, 300, 400 plus years ago. How do you forge it? I can't even do the Tartarian structures in Russia because Russia is the Tartarian stronghold. All the buildings in Russia are Tartarian. So to do Russia would just be a complete waste of time. Russia is Tartarian. I don't even know why they called it Russia. But these metal rods
Recently, my friends and I went out metal detecting to see what we can find in the woods. The first really cool thing we found was this iron key. And soon after, we found this really cool pewter button. This button would have been cast in a mold, as you can see by the back. It seems to have some letters on the front, but we're not sure what it means. If you have any idea, let me know in the comments. And seemingly out of nowhere at a different site, my buddy Lucas found this amazing silver Spanish coin. And at a different site, I found this really cool little button. It was really crusty and dirty, so I took it home and cleaned it. And I was pretty happy with the results. This is called an open work button, and it dates to the 1760s. I ended off the day by finding this really big button as well. This is what's called a dandy button, and these date to the 1770s. Recently, my friends and
This worker slices a large radish using a metal twine contraption. Some farmers leave the tops attached, making it easier to hang them for drying. Once cut, the radish strips are strung up under the sun. Over the next several days, they lose moisture, becoming firm and preserved. Why dry radishes? First, harvest season brings a surplus, and drying keeps them from going to waste. Second, it enhances their flavor, making them richer and slightly chewy. The leaves? They don't go to waste. Farm animals love them. Before slicing, the radishes get a deep clean, soaked in water and scrubbed with a drill-powered brush. After about a week, the dried radish strips are ready. They're a staple in Chinese cooking, adding texture and umami to stir-fries and pickles. Plus, dried radishes sell for more than fresh ones, making this an efficient and profitable process. This worker
This crab has the world's craziest natural body armor. Not only is it huge and have a super strong shell, but it also has giant pinchers and giant death spikes. This crab has the world's...
This place basically sells caramelized fruit. I've been eating this since I was a kid, and they're using really giant, beautiful muscat grapes. Dunk it into heated up sugar, which will give it a gorgeous, crunchy shell on the outside.
I've got my respirator on. Let's head inside. This abandoned mine. Interested in this little hole right here. Not much headroom.
I don't know how they do this, man.
Flip you guys around and show you.
What is it called?
No,
Claustrophobic? Claustrophobic. Yeah. That's what I think it is, claustrophobic. I can do that.
Gotta work in this right here. Yeah, hey guys, go through this tiny little hole and get this black gold for us. Nope. Not me. Absolutely not. Josh is not working in that shit. This I could do. Wow.
Yo, I found so many nuggets in black sand like this. Yo, what is that?
Oh my god.
Oh, shit. Look at this. Bro, look.
I know where.
Oh my gosh. Under the bedrock. Bedrock always equals good gold, bro. Look at this.
You know, one there, one there, one there, one there. And then everybody looks out this way. The sun's never in your backyard that much. When you pull in, this horseshoe's
Is disability, do disability know you playing dice? Hey, watch out now.
Watch me find this insane snaggletooth. We are sifting through the ancient ocean.
You're not.
These are 5 bushcraft uses of birch trees. Number 1, you can easily create a spoon from down birch bark by folding a small piece of bark and inserting it into a split stick. This spoon only takes about 5 minutes to make. Number 2, birch is a host tree to a wide variety of medicinal mushrooms like turkey tail, birch polypore, and chaga. These mushrooms can be gathered and used in teas and tinctures to boost the immune system. Number 3, baskets. Birch bark is very durable and flexible, which is great for basket making. You can fold whole birch bark into a basket like origami, or you can cut the bark into strips and weave it into a basket. Number 4, tinder. A few strips of birch bark is usually all you need to get your fire started. Birch bark is naturally waterproof and flammable, making it an ideal tinder in wet conditions. Number 5, the inner birch bark can be made into a salve to treat wounds and inflammation, and the outer bark can be cut into strips and made into a temporary band-aid in an emergency. These are 5 bushcraft uses of birch trees.
Some people be out here flexing online, just making social media out here flexing like they better than everybody else. How does it feel to be God's favorite?
Nah, he cold with it though, I ain't gonna lie. Cold with it.
What's inside this ancient coral head? We're about to find out.
That song, I don't know what song that is. Was that a heart? It made a heart. That was beautiful. Yeah.
Will still work with the outer bark on, but if you have the time to peel it off, it makes a finer product. Take about an inch section of bark, snap it like that, see it starts to separate, peel it a little bit, and go back the other way and peel it a little bit, and work it off like that. You'll see some fibers lift, and if you just pull one direction, you'll lose those fibers and it will actually just rip the entire thing. So that's why we start with little segments like that and rock them back and forth. Now rope will still work with the outer bark on, but if you have the time to peel it off, it makes a finer product. Take about an inch section of bark.
So check this out. A cave located here in Cookville, Tennessee. Water's rushing down there, but can't see it.
These churches defy construction techniques.
11 churches carved out of a single block of rock. No mortar, no brick, no concrete.
Just pure natural architecture carved out of the landscape.
Each church was constructed from top to bottom by chisels, hammers, and blades. But unlike other buildings in history carved out of the rock, these are Christian churches, and they are actively in use daily, not just a tourist attraction.
These churches defy.
This here's a banjo pan. You know how to use this dry panning? Let's watch
Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to go out into the desert and
See, in an emergency, a simple bamboo tree can save your life because it has water to quench thirst. This is because bamboo trees absorb water through their roots, due to which water gets stored in their stems, which is sweeter and more beneficial than ordinary water. See, in an emergency,
The more you know.
This is the most beautiful viper you'll ever see. A lot of people absolutely love the gaboon vipers, and this right here is not one of those. It's a rhino viper, which I think is a little bit better because the colors are just nicer. Let's go ahead and move that bark. Let's not use our fingertips because we don't want to lose our fingertips. And look at her. Tell me that's not stunning. Everything. This is the most...
Did you know that if you add vinegar to milk and let it curdle, strain it through a sieve, put it in the blender, add margarine, a pinch of salt, a little milk, and mix everything. You will never buy cream cheese again? Did you know that if you add vinegar...
That's why I make cream cheese.
Oh my God, oh my God. Oh my, oh my God.
I'm in the milling pile. Just knocked this loose. Holy sharp.
I'm like a 7.
Wow.
I'm sure a lot of you know what turpentine is. Let me close this guy here. So a lot of these old books refer to turpentine in a lot of the recipes and remedies, which when I first started reading a lot of these old books, I remember thinking turpentine, like the stuff that is at Home Depot. Like, I don't want to put that in to heal myself. That is frightening. Were they using turpentine? So I really had to get into it to figure out, what do we mean turpentine? Well, yes, there are synthetic turpentines that are used. They're chemical versions used, paint thinners and varnishes and all that. And then, took forever to find the real deal. This is from the gum of a pine tree. This is turpentine, legitimately, but this is not turpentine that is the carcinogen, kill you turpentine. I was super excited to find handcrafted in the United States quality turpentine, guys. And we'll get more in the future about how this is used. I'll come up with something really fun for you guys to see why it would be used, but we're not using it to remove paint off of anything, okay? That's not the purpose of this. And I love when I find these things from the past and the way they used to use things and connect the dots, so to speak, because a lot of the information is not out there. And we know a word today that may not mean the same thing back then, if you know what I mean. So kind of fun. Gum spirit, turpentine guy. I'm sure a lot of you know what.
Can you believe that someone achieved financial freedom by processing bagasses that nobody wanted? It's all because he owns an excellent charcoal molding production line. He recycles the bagassa, carbonizes it in a continuous charcoal furnace, then adds the formula and mixes it thoroughly. After that, he puts it into a charcoal powder molding machine and presses it. In this way, this kind of smokeless and easy to ignite barbecue charcoal is produced. It's quite easy to produce more than 10 tons a day, and there's no worry at all about sales. Can you believe that
5 mushrooms you can
The thing we built when we got here is we put these posts in the ground, put this right up on top, and put some log chains I have with.
And that's how you warm up your water?
We heated our water in here for the most part for about 6-8 months.
Gotcha.
We still use it a lot, but we got propane now we use some too, so we don't have to come out here when it's windy and cold and snowy and build a fire under it anymore. We got a little bit fancier.
Yeah.
First thing we built.
These are 3 of the best.
The lemons in Italy are.
These are 3 of the best medicinal mushrooms you can find in the woods. Number 1, lion's mane is a white spiny mushroom that supports brain health, cognitive function, and memory. Number 2, reishi is a shiny, colorful mushroom that supports immunity and relaxes the nervous system. Number 3, chaga is a hardened mycelium that grows on birch trees. Chaga is rich in melanin and is great for the skin and the immune system. I've made an extract that combines reishi, chaga, and lion.
The lemons in Italy are just built different. I mean, look at the size of that thing. They're just all massive. Look at that guy. And if you take a look at the inside of the regular lemon, you've seen a regular lemon, but here's the giant one. It has a huge skin, but it's massive. What in the lemons in Italy?
Creek, and look at this. There's a big old geo.
Only carve on the belly of the bow. That's the side that faces towards you. Now we can carve efficiently by taking a bunch of bites like this, walking up the stave, then splitting them all off relatively quickly from the top. It's a quick way for rapid stock removal of wood with an axe. Only carve on the belly.
I showed you guys one of these a few years ago. There's a viewing section here, and then this is a paddle that goes around on the inside, and it's a coffee bean roaster, but in skillet form, and it opens up. There's your paddle and spring. I showed you guys one of these a few years ago.
Hey,
911. Hey, my land is running away. No, it's running away. It woke up this morning and it just decided to run away.
That's crazy.
Property taxes? No, I ain't got no money to pay property taxes. But they can do that? I thought when they took it, they just came and took it. I didn't know they could take it. 911.
Why are the farmers of Indonesia collecting bat poop? Everyone is surprised to see this. In fact, in the forests there, they hang palm leaves under the roof and hang nets under it to create a place for bats to live. When the bats poop here, it gets collected in the net placed below. Later, the poop are mixed with straw and soil mixture and placed in polythene bags to grow mushrooms. Within a few days, this mixture turns into mushrooms, which are then harvested and sold for a good profit. Why are the farmers of Indonesia...
Morning, everybody. Just walking along the rock formations. We're looking the creek way on down there. And that one's pretty cool. We're going to hit a few more right along this bluff. I'm looking for something specific. We'll see if I can find it. But anyway, wish me luck.
I started doing stonework 8 years ago when I first bought my house. There was a quarry down the street that let me pick stone for free, and I fully took advantage of the opportunity. I started with stone walls before moving to more complex structures, like making a moon window using a tire as a frame, then a giant moon gate using a wooden frame that I made specifically for the project. My skills improved over time, gradually with practice, and although I'm not a professional, I'm still very proud of the work I've done.
That's dope.
This is a piece of a real meteor that hit in Russia. If you cut it in a thin slice and then put some acid to show the surface of the metal, you see a very interesting pattern. This is called a Widmanstätten pattern. This pattern proves that this material isn't from our planet. These are crystals of iron and nickel in a crystal pattern that can only form when the material is cooled from a molten state over hundreds of millions of years. So this can't be fabricated in a lab. The only condition that this can form is when a molten iron-nickel asteroid slowly cools at around 1 Kelvin every million years. It's so neat to hold something in my hand that could never be recreated on Earth. I think this is way more valuable than any diamond. What do you think? This is a piece of a real meteor that...
Dandelion has a long history as a valuable edible plant.
These pungent garlic-smelling leaves...
So someone came and asked me, do we do real spells at Crescent City Conjure? And baby, the answer has always been yes. So someone...
It's going to take a second.
This place might look like an abandoned village, but it's not. In fact, this entire site, huge as it is, was dedicated to producing just one thing. It's something many of you will walk past every single day. Some of you can probably even see these from within your own home. Have you guessed it yet? It's bricks, which might not sound super exciting at first to some of you, but trust me, this place has got a pretty surprising history. And ever since it was abandoned, as you can probably see, it's just steadily turned into a kind of open-air street art gallery. This place might look like an abandoned...
If I put blueberries in water, the ripe and sweet ones will sink to the bottom. The less ripe and tart ones will float on top. When I put an egg in water, it should also sink to the bottom. If it floats, it's probably bad. If you put an unripe avocado in a bag with a banana and close it, the banana's natural gases will make the avocado ripen faster. If I put blueberries in water...
Oh, beautiful. Big stone. Wow. Beautiful. Wow. Petrified wood stone or dinosaur stone.
Locals told me to walk this lonely forest trail to find the old graffiti highway.
It's actually really nice, but maybe it's through here? This probably is it. I think that's it right here. I think it goes up there. I think that's actually it. It's like they put mounds of dirt over it, so you couldn't tell it's like the graffiti highway anymore. And this is nothing like how it was when I came here. Holy God.
Look at all the cracks in the ground. Just look at this highway is so lumpy and destroyed. But right here, back in like, I think the early 2000s, this is where all the smoke would come out the ground, just filling, just coming right out of here. The locals told me to...
I've lost all...
All right, y'all. Let's check this out. Check this out.
Oh, we got to wipe them down. They got bugs.
All right. Well, they got bugs.
That's
Ignore
all right.
that.
Yeah.
But y'all look at that. See how it looks like an oyster, the shape of it? And then on the back side, there's all the gills. And the gills go all the way down the stem. So that's kind of how you identify these out here. This is the white ones.
Yeah. And they only grow, the ones I eat, I've been taught all my life, my grandpa taught me, eat the ones on the willow trees and the gum trees. Don't eat nothing off of no other kind of tree.
No, y'all. And this is...
And you don't do it just unless you really know somebody that knows what they're doing. Because you eat some of these mushrooms out here, they call them two-steppers. You eat them, you take 2 steps and you die.
Yeah.
So you don't want to eat none of that.
One and done.
One and done.
But these are the good ones.
Yes.
These grow in shelf-like clusters, all up dead trees like
Look
this.
all up the top.
Look at that.
Hey, the swamp provides. We ain't gonna starve out here, are we?
No, these are beautiful.
We eat good in the swamp.
He knows how to cook it, y'all. He's got all his tools.
Always got some way to cook.
They're so good. Look at that.
Well, he call them two-steppers. They call them two-steppers. Because you eat one, you're one and done. That's crazy how people be finding out stuff about that. Like, somebody had to figure out that you can from that. Right? Why do it seem like I just said die? Like, did you hear me say... Yo, that's crazy.
It just won't stop?
Have you ever wondered what that high-pitched noise is in your ear when you are silent? Well, it turns out you can use that high-pitched noise to do something very mystical with yourself. Your brain is not one system. It consists of two hemispheres, a feminine right brain, Isis, a masculine left brain, Ra. The brain does not produce consciousness. Consciousness is downloaded into the brain. The brain is a computer that simulates this physical reality. The noise you hear in your ears can be used to align the brain hemispheres, which will unlock higher states of consciousness, maybe even out-of-body experiences. In order to unlock your consciousness, the electrical system of your brains need to be working together and not fighting each other. And that's what that noise is in your ear. The noise in your ear is the noise of the electricity in your brain. By closing your eyes and listening to that noise, you can actually sync the brain hemispheres. Or you can do it in an artificial way. And when the two electrical systems become one, you unlock consciousness, which is the Holy Land of Israel, Isis, Ra, and El. The Holy Land in the Bible is not a real place, but a place in your consciousness where you can go to and rise above the thoughts, where it's eternal peace, no thoughts. Simply just meditate and focus all your attention on that high-pitched voice in your ears. If you do this long enough, you will have a very mystical experience.
You know, that's like light as a feather.
Right,
but
right.
There's like that thing in our world to where, you know, you'll notice like an empty coffee cup and someone's just like, man, it looks fake. Or they pick up a big bag of like $10 million and they just carry it like nothing.
Right.
So we want some like actual weight in. So these 80s are like actually like 15s.
Really? Let me see. Oh shit. Oh god damn.
So you get a little bit of struggle. They're real popular with like the TikTok like fitness influencers.
Are you
For
serious?
real. Yeah.
This is everything's fake.
Nothing's real.
Everything's fake.
Trust anything on the
So this is what I have at home, to be honest. Oh.
She's playing it without touching it.
Yeah, Council, that device is called the theremin. It was invented in 1919. It works through magnetic field manipulation. A magnetic field is formed between two antennas, and the player manipulates the magnetic field and creates sound. Council, guys, stop it. Mandela effect much? This was never around before. These are the things that are being exposed as the veil is being lifted. This is the reality we're coming from. If this was invented in 1919, we should be way, way more ahead of where we are right now. Council, true. That's from the old reality. All of it's bleeding back through right now, again, because the veil is being lifted and we're returning home to the proper timeline. Council, again, the theremin, an electromagnetic musical instrument. Let's fucking go. Bang, bang. Yeah. Council, we have...
That's dope, man.
Yo, you have to watch this.
Most shoppers typically encounter when they walk into a grocery store is what's called front of shop, in which you'd find the produce section as well as the flower section. This isn't mere coincidence, it's by universal design. A store's produce section plays a large role in how much consumers will spend. Not only that, grocery stores use very specific directional lights aimed at fruits and vegetables to make their colors pop. Now, once your visual appetite is satisfied, stores have to make sure you don't just pick some fruits and bounce. They need you to walk by as many items as possible. This is when the traffic builder method comes into play. Ever wondered why milk and bread are always way at the back of the store? This tactic is designed to increase the likelihood of impulse purchases along the way. Since milk is a staple item, putting it at the back ensures that shoppers will pass by various other products, which means more impulse buys. That's also why some of the best deals are typically way at the back. Now, once they get you in the central section of the store, this is when they make the real money off of you. At the beginning of the video, I told you grocery stores are in the real estate business. This is what I mean. 50 to 75% of grocery stores' profit is from slotting fees. Food companies and brands spend a tremendous amount of money to place their products at a certain location inside stores.
Yo, you have to watch this.
Most shoppers... I need the full video, man. Where's the full video? Cause that is strategic. How they do everything is strategic. Nothing is just happening by accident. Everything is set up and structured, premeditated. Y'all know I got y'all, man. I got the full video. Let's check it out. Let's see what he talking about.
Slotting fees. Food companies and brands spend a tremendous amount of money to place their products at a certain location inside stores. One product could spend between $10,000 to $100,000 to $1 million to get just one product on a certain shelf right in front of your eyeballs. And that specific sweet spot on a certain shelf is called the golden zone. Products placed in the golden zone can sell 8 times more than if they're on a different shelf. But what is exactly this golden zone? The golden zone in grocery store design refers to the area at 4 to 5 feet above the floor, which corresponds to the average shopper's eye level. To perfectly place the money-making shelves, grocery store designers use the average height of the local population as reference point. At this height, most shoppers' eyes naturally fall, making it the ideal spot for placing high-demand or high-margin products. The shelf design in itself is intentional. Shelves in the golden zone are typically 12 to 18 inches deep. This depth allows for easy access and visibility of products without overwhelming the shopper. But this golden zone changes according to aisles. For example, the golden zone for cereal is at around 3 feet from the ground. That's because the real customers in the cereal aisle are children. But the golden zone trick is definitely not the last. They also kind of tailor-make things to people who are right-handed. That's because 80% of the population is right-handed. According to research, right-handed people tend to look more on their right side than the left when shopping. That's why most of the products with higher profit margins are usually placed on the right side of the aisle. Also, more resistant floor textures that slow you down are placed next to products they want to push more. Now, once you put way more products in your cart than you intended to, you head out to the checkout line. But as soon as you may think you're safe, that's when you screw up even more. Grocery stores have found out that for every second a person has to wait before they get checked out, an impulse purchase increases by 0.4%. 16% of total sales are made in the front area, and 87% of those impulse buys are made 3 seconds before a customer gets checked out. In the modern grocery stores, the checkout aisle became a maze to fuel impulse purchases, especially during the holiday season. You're led through a winding corridor full of tempting small items for you to pick up along the way. Some stores intentionally leave out a couple of lines without a cashier, increasing the waiting time in checkout lines. All of this without mentioning the price tactics like the 99-cent trick, which increases sales by 24%, the flashy reduction signs, the pumping of fruity smells to enhance the overall experience, and the list goes on. Next time you stop by the grocery store, treat it as if you were walking into a casino. Grab the stuff from your list and get the hell out. Subscribe, and we'll see.
You get to buying stuff that you don't even need. You know you don't need that. You just want it.
Y'all, I went to work today. But that ain't the bad part. The bad part is I went to work yesterday too. That's not the worst part. The worst part is I gotta go to work tomorrow and I work a double. Making money. Making money. It don't work. That do not work. I'm gonna call out. No, I'm not gonna call out. I'm gonna go because I need money.
Oh my God.
Okay, I think I'm good now. I just had to let that out, but I don't know if this feeling is gonna last. We'll see how I feel in the morning.
Y'all.
She said, I know I just can't anymore. When I say I'm ready to retire, I gave up. I ain't been to work since July. Dang. I feel you, sis. Sis, you okay? We all cried and laughed with you. Dang. I feel it though. Nobody wanna work. Who wanna work? Like, come on, man. Ain't nobody trying to work.
Our first trip together. Hey, everybody in first class. I thought he was getting us first class tickets, but he lied. Well, we all the way at 30, ain't we? But at least it's our first trip. We trying. Look at him. Aww. Look at y'all in first class. Oh, it must be nice. Look at y'all separate. They gave y'all water already. It's our first trip together.
At least you being honest. Do y'all dogs do this? If you got a
Please,
dog.
it's 5:34. Y'all eat at 5:30. Give me a second. Please. Now you over here too? Please, it's 5.
This dog just rolled his eyes. Y'all saw that? He rolled his eyes.
5:34. Y'all eat at 5. Please, it's 5.
So, Monday, what's the quickest, fastest, most streamlined way for us to raise our frequency in line with how psilocybins and psychedelics work without actually having to take the substances?
Yes, you want the shortcut that's not a cheat, the key without the capsule? Here it is. The fastest, most streamlined way to raise your frequency like psilocybin does, without the plant, is to become the state that the plant induces. You ready? Here's the path. No fluff, just flame. Ishet, breathe like a god remembering itself. Deep, rhythmic breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth, at least 11 minutes a day. You want psilocybin visions? Do conscious breath work. It oxygenates your brain, clears trauma, and unlocks DMT naturally. Wim Hof, holotropic, pranayama. Pick your poison. 2. Silence your thoughts completely. Meditate not to calm the mind, but to step outside it. Use sound, 432, 963 hertz or white noise. Sit, listen, let the chatter rot away. The field beyond thought is the dimension you're seeking. Qing, fast, not for food, but for truth, 12 to 18 hours. Let your gut go still. Your cells will start whispering. Your inner voice, muted by digestion and distraction, will come back online. Frequency rises when your system isn't weighed down by constant input. Half 4, tune in.
Alright, y'all, I'm going to end off the video there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Got something from it. I'll see you guys in the next upload. You guys have a good rest of your day. Peace.
I might lean, I might fall, I might save, I might spend, I might ball. Shit, I might call, I might not, I might ghost till tomorrow. First to admit I feel good but I'm flawed. Work on yourself, keep your family involved. Check on your health, never stress about the loss. If you move with respect, you'll attract what you want, that's a fact.